Listen to me. Talk to God often. Even if you're not perfect, just talk to him every day. You don't have to be in the same faith I'm in, or you ain't got to call God the same thing I call him. But listen to me, you do have to call him, though. Faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible. All you want is the strength to get through your life. If you want to be happy or successful, you got to ask God for it. Most people don't have the life of their dreams because you don't ask God for it. The scripture says you have not because you ask not. It's a very simple scripture, but listen to me. If you up your ask, he will up his give. If you change what you ask God for, he immediately changes what he gives to you. I'm telling you, man, your whole success is tied in your relationship to God. You can simplify this by getting in touch with your creator. That's your key, man. Quit tripping yourself out. Hey, y'all, don't forget to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray. And don't ever be too proud to pray, because prayer changes things.
I want to talk to you today about your faith. If you're going to reach your potential, you have to fight through some things. You can't have a weak, give up, this is too hard spirit. You have to be more determined than what's trying to stop you. You may get knocked down, but you have to get back up again. You need to have a made-up mind. This disappointment is not going to stop me. I'm not going to let the mistakes I've made, the guilt, the regrets cause me to shrink back. I'm not going to allow the bad breaks, the people that did me wrong, the rejection, the betrayal, cause me to get bitter and stay where I am. I'm going to fight through the crowd. Instead of complaining about the problem, Lord, I want to thank you that things are turning in my favor. I don't see a way, but Lord, I want to thank you. I know you have a way. When you do that, you're laying hands on God. Your faith can initiate the healing. Your faith can be the catalyst for God to do amazing things. We should live with this anticipation that something good is going to happen. Yes, we've all had difficulties. We all have a reason to be sour. Don't let that talk you out of what God has in store. You wouldn't be alive if there wasn't something amazing in your future. Can your faith be seen? Can anyone notice that you're expecting to go to a new level? Are you talking like it's going to happen? Thinking like it's going to happen? Believing like it's going to happen? God is passing by. But if you're negative, I don't see how it'll work out. I never get any good breaks. I've been this way a long time. You may brush up against him, but you're not going to touch him. You have to show God you're ready to be healed, ready to be free, ready to be blessed. There should be an expectancy. It could happen today. You could meet the person of your dreams this week. You could see your health turn around this month. This year could be your year to go to a new level where things fall into place. Good breaks find you. Promises you've been believing for suddenly come to pass. Well, Joel, what if I believe for it and it doesn't happen? What if you believe for it and it does happen? When you live with expectancy, where your faith can be seen in your expressions, in your attitude, and how you talk, that's going to cause God to notice you in a new way. God is always with us. He has us in the palm of his hand, but faith is what gets his attention. You can be obedient and have a sour attitude and limited vision and not please God. You can give, serve, feed the poor, and that's all important. We should do that. But if you're not believing for things bigger than you can accomplish on your own, if you're not expecting difficulties to turn around, if you're not anticipating new levels, thanking God that he's bringing promises to pass, then you're not releasing your faith. You have to stir up what God put in you. He's passing by. Don't just sit back and watch. Well, I wish I could break the addiction. I wish I could accomplish my dreams. Why don't you reach out and touch him? Lord, I want to thank you that you're opening doors no man can shut. Thank you that you're taking me where I could not go on my own. Lord, I believe healing is on the way. Freedom is on the way. The right person is on the way. Abundance is on the way. That's how we touch God today with our faith. Well, Joel, I'm waiting for God to do something. Maybe God is waiting on you. When God sees you doing what you can, believing when there's no sign, thanking Him when you're weak, taking steps of faith when you're uncomfortable, God will give you strength that goes beyond your natural ability. He'll help you do what you couldn't do on your own. Maybe you've been praying, believing, expecting for a long time. Stay encouraged. It's on the way. You are closer than you think. It's going to happen sooner than it looks. There's no sign of things improving. Everything looks the same. Get ready. God is full of surprises. He doesn't always do things in a normal way where it gradually gets better. He'll do them suddenly, out of the ordinary. You didn't see it coming. It's because day after day, week after week, you kept touching Him. You kept expecting it. You kept thanking Him it was on the way. You kept talking like it was going to happen. Your faith is going to make you whole. Your faith is going to break the addiction. Your faith is going to bring you out of death. Your faith is going to help you accomplish your God-given dreams. People will try to talk you out of your miracle. They'll tell you all the reasons why you can't get well, why you won't break the addiction, why you won't meet the right person. It's because they don't know what God put in you. They can't hear what you hear. Negative voices will try to discourage you. But when you get quiet, you'll hear that still small voice saying, this addiction is not your destiny. You're better than this. Living in lack, not able to get ahead, is not your lot in life. Abundance is on the way. Being depressed, no passion, that is not who you are. Freedom is coming. Joy is coming. Breakthroughs are coming. God whispers in your spirit dreams and promises.
So maybe it's time for you to check yourself, man, because ain't nobody else gonna check you. Maybe it's time for you to check yourself and say, no matter how it may look, I'm gonna continue to trust you. And this message might not be for everybody, man, but I'm telling you, the reason why I'm at today is because of God.
What you put up against that is meaning. Meaning is actually the instinct that helps you guide yourself through that catastrophe. And most of that meaning is to be found in the adoption of responsibility.
People are looking for the excuse, and the truth is the excuse is completely valid, but that's still not going to change the circumstance. So the test is not whether or not you know the reasons for not succeeding. The test is whether or not you're willing to do whatever it takes to get to that next level. And a big part of the whatever it takes actually is just remain teachable. Just be a student of the game, a student of life, a student of those who've achieved.
Wanting to become extraordinary, to transform yourself into something that is truly undeniable, to become so good that they can't ignore you. I believed that my talent and intelligence were fixed traits. I was born a certain way, and life was about making the most of what I'd been born with. What I did not yet understand is the reason humans are the ultimate apex predator. The reason that we have taken over the globe in a way that no other species has is because we are the ultimate adaptation machine. Neither the strongest of the species that survive nor the most intelligent, but rather the most adaptive to change.
Stay on the goddamn path and be careful. If you were better, the people around you would be less worse than they are. And if you were good enough, you don't know how much better the people around you would be. If you don't understand that you could do that, then you don't know who you are.
If you stop, you get the emotion. You don't get the progress. So if you talk to any decent athlete, they'll tell you that where the pain starts is when the work starts. Talk to any decent entrepreneur that's built a large-scale business, they'll tell you the shit they had to go through. So you either get the emotion or you get the progress, but you can't have both.
What you build your self-esteem around matters. And whether you realize it or not, each and every one of you has something that sits at the core of how you feel about yourself And from that, your identity, your sense of self-worth, your self-esteem, it is all built around that thing.
Happy exists in a binary. Happy, sad, positive, negative, pessimist, optimist. Those are all binaries. Joy wraps its arms around the full spectrum of the human experience. Joy is when you see how fragile, temporary, fleeting this experience is. Joy is we're here. And we're in this moment.
I think it's really important. I think this idea of identity is just so powerful. When somebody asks the question, who are you? How do you answer that question?
Things that are robust, that are strong, that are tough, that can take a lot of abuse before they break, they are still ultimately defined by their breaking point. Something that is anti-fragile, on the other hand, is something that the more you attack it, the more it is pounded on, the stronger it gets. Now imagine being able to build a belief system, the thing that you build your self-esteem around. If all of that were tied to something that is truly anti-fragile, that the more somebody comes after it, the more robust it becomes. Being a learner is that answer.
Maybe about 18 years ago, I bought this house, and I kept getting these insane water bills. The water bills were just insane. Like, why are these water bills so crazy? I'm a single man living in this house. Anyway, my neighbor told me I needed to dig a well. So I called this guy over to come, to an engineer. He comes out, and we're walking the yard, and he's putting out all of these orange flags as to all these places he thinks that we could find water. As he's digging one, I said, okay, go ahead. So as he starts digging this one well, didn't hit anything. So then he goes on to the next one. Little flag, he's digging, never hits water. He goes to the next one, never hits water, and I keep having to pay these bills, and I got so frustrated. I said, never mind, I'll just keep paying the water bill because I'm not going to do this. A few months passed, I still get these crazy water bills, so what I decided to do was call him back. So he comes back out. I said, you dig right here, this well, and you dig, and you don't stop until you hit water. So he starts digging. He gets down to about 800 feet. He said, we haven't hit water. This is pretty deep. I said, you keep going. Gets down a little deeper, still has not hit water. I was like, you keep going, you keep going. He said, okay, we're going to take the night off. We're over 1,000 feet deep. We'll be back in the morning. That night I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm just wasting money. I'm not going to do it. As soon as he gets in the morning, I'm going to tell him to stop digging. That morning he comes out, he starts the machine. I'm on my way down to him. The machine starts. He was 4 inches away from the water that I needed. Why am I telling you all this? Why am I talking about digging for water? In this world, we're all digging wells. In our lives, we're digging wells. We're digging wells in relationships where we put all this time and effort and energy, and sometimes it doesn't give us what we need. We put all our time and effort and energy in our dreams and our business, and it doesn't give us what we need or what we were after. But if you just keep digging, my God, if you could just hear me right now, just keep digging. You may be 4 inches away from every gift and every blessing that you've ever wanted in your life. Had I given up when I was homeless, when I was sleeping in my car, when I was hungry, had I given up, these people that you see on this screen right now would not be a part of my dream. There are people who are tied into your dream and your destiny, and you are worthy of getting to your goal. Keep digging. Don't stop.
When I first started telling jokes, I made $25 a night. The first year in comedy, I made $3,000. The third year, I made about $7,200. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years because I wasn't making enough money. But guess what? I kept telling them $25 jokes till they started paying me $250 a night. I kept telling them $25,000 jokes till they started paying me $75,000 a night. Them the same $25 jokes. They ain't nothing but English. I just kept repetition over and over and over and keep praying about it. I kept praying about it. I kept leaning on my mama. She said, he didn't bring you this far to leave you. You know, I could have gave up a long time ago. I just kept fighting. God is going to come through and do what he say he going to do. But it all happens at an appointed time. But you have to stay in faith for the appointed time to happen for you. I've been wanting to be on TV since I was 10 years old. You know how old I was before I got on TV? 38. 28 years after I wrote it on the paper. I won't be on TV. It took me 28 years to get on TV. But it happened at an appointed time. I just never gave up the faith. I kept going because I didn't know how to quit. Because I know if I quit,
Hello everyone. Today our topic is believe in your greatness. A scene's landscape with a great music playing in the background. In these quiet moments of reflections, there are lines of in a truth waiting to embrace, to cut a sense of personal achievement, moments of joy and discriminations. You have forced challenges, hedged on defects, expectations, and expectations, shown realizations in adversary to sense and transactions, a growth of learning and self-discovery. Your journey is testament to your strength and courage, a unwavering script shrouded by those who believes in you, who have discovered the power within a source. Since shift to a mirror, reflection on the protagonist. Look now in the mirror, see the greatness that resides with you. The project of smells confidently is believing in your greatness. It's your inquiry goal to the world. At the sense of photo guide its work to confidently into your future. Advertising that's uplifting on your belief. That's for enough. It's a good achievement and script aims of inspire and frame the viewer believe in their own greatness through